Hey folks, good morning, how you doing? Sam and I took a ride out to that spot I showed you on a video a little while ago of trying a new target shooting spot. We're out here right now. I was kind of worried that the vegetation is going to be really high in the road, but it's gone down, so that's a good thing. I won't have to worry about trying to clear out the road so much. And I'm at the end stop area where the road stops right there, and it's a higher bank, and it's a dead end. I've come all the way through here, there's nobody in here, so I'm going to set up the target board over here, then back up a good 100 yards or so, and then get things set up. Actually, I might back up 50 yards, and because that 270 hasn't been bore sighted or anything, so I want to be closer to get that going too. And I do have an AR I need to lock into, so we'll see how that goes. I'll get some more footage for you when I get better set up here. That scats right down where I'm going to be putting my table here to shoot. This is about 50 or 60 yards probably right here to the target. Do my first couple of shots right here just to get that 270 on the paper. Hopefully it's on the paper first shot, but we'll see. Then I'll back up further to the 100-yard mark and dial her in, hopefully. I don't know, hoping these 140s will shoot better than the 150s, but you never know with a gun. When I had the money, I could not find a box of 130s where I was, so I may have to try those later on, but hopefully these 140s work. We'll see how it goes. All right, here are the two ammunitions I'm gonna try. The Federal, those are 150 grain Power Shocks. Then I got a Hornady 140 grain interlocks. Hopefully one of those does well. Here's the rifle. It's a Browning XBOLT 2. It's got a GPO, German Precision Optics scope on it. I can't remember what the power was. It's 2.5 to, let's see, it is 2.5 to 10. I think that's, yeah, 2.5 to 10 power. And a 270. And I'd measured that range right down there to the target board with a rangefinder. I just estimated this and it's at 49.3 yards, so that's pretty close to 50. Hopefully I can get her on the board and see how she goes. I'm gonna try the American Whitetail Hornadies first, 140s, and see how that goes. All right, there's my first shot, that left target. About 1.5 inches high and 2.5 inches to the left. So I'm gonna have to move that over and take another shot, but at least it's hitting the paper, so that's really Sam. So that's a good thing. Somebody's anxious. Some more scat, almost to the target board. I'm gonna show you the second shot. I just made a mistake that a lot of people probably do, and I'll talk to you about it when I get up there. All right, there's my, stay right there. There's my second shot. You can see it moved over a little bit more and down slightly. And if anybody is shot at all, maybe you'll tell me what the mistake was. Let me turn around and show you. Yeah, my mistake is that I forgot that I am only at 50 yards, not 100 yards, so I was adjusting the scope. The scopes are set like a 1 MOA scope is set for 1/4 inch at 100 yards, so one click is 1/4 inch. And this one is, I think it's mil, so it's 1/3, so it's my first mil scope actually. So it's 1/3 inch at 100 yards. But if you're at 50 yards, that 1/4 inch is 1/2 inch. No, it's 1/8 inch. So you have to move the dial twice as many clicks as you would at 100 to equal the same, and same with the mil, I'm assuming. So it's, instead of 1/3, it's 1.5. So So I'm gonna have to move it over still another 1.5 inches over to the right and another 1.5 inches down. So gotta go back there and figure that out and adjust that and hopefully get that good so I can go back to 100 yards and stop wasting ammunition. See how she goes. All right, there's the third shot. Just tagging that center punch. Just a little low, but because it's only at 50 yards, I'm gonna leave it right there, because at 100 yards, it might be a little bit high. We'll see. But that's up and down, you know, pretty close. Left to right, it's really good. So I'm gonna go back to 100 yards and probably aim at this target over here and see what I get. And hopefully that's good, but we'll see. So far, I'm really liking that gun. Shooting well. Trigger's a little heavy, but not bad. I got it adjusted down as pretty much as I can on that rifle. So it's very good for hunting, actually. You know, I can't complain much about that. Scope is awesome. That German Precision Optics scope is an excellent scope. Very clear glass, and it's when I'm adjusting it, it's moving, you know, really well. It's firm clicks, and it's going perfect on the target as well. So I can't complain. This is the 50-yard range. I'm gonna move back to 100 now and see what I can do on that other side, the other target. All right, there's my 3 shot. I took the first 2 were high, and then I held it a lot tighter and tried to lock myself in better to get that 3rd shot, but I don't trust that ammo right now. The table is just so wobbly. It's a pain in the ass. I always say that. I use the same stupid table all the time, but let me turn around. Yeah, I don't like the way that's drooping. Again, like I said, that table is so wobbly. It's a pain in the ass. I can't take a steady shot. It's always bouncing about a 2-inch bounce, you know, from this far down. So you're just trying to time it right and lock yourself in and hold steady, but it's just too much soft moving and frustrating. That's why I can't wait till I get a good friggin' table at camp and get that all taken care of, and then I have a solid table and hopefully things will be better. It's just frustrating trying to sight in something when it's just you can't get a solid rest. And but that's still what's that, 1.5 inch group, 2-inch group, something, I don't know. I'm gonna and this is back at 100 yards now too, obviously. So I'm gonna take the Federals out and see if those Federals will shoot any better. I'll try and aim at one of these other cross squares here in the middle somewhere. All right, it's batter up for the 150 grains. I don't really want to use 150s because you're kind of defeating the purpose of using a 270, because 30-06, 280s and all those guys will probably shoot better, faster. Because I kind of wanted the 130s or 140s, but you got to shoot what your gun's going to shoot right. So I'm going to try these and see how these shoot. We'll see how it goes down range, and get my fingers crossed, see how that goes. My dog is getting very hot. Those Federals are way worse than the Hornadies. But I'm still not getting a very good solid rest on that table. It's horrible. It's way too much flex in the table. I'm aiming downhill. I got sitting on the freaking bag, so I don't know. I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna waste any more ammo with a shitty situation. I'm gonna buy some 130s hopefully somewhere and try those as well, but I need just a more solid rest. I'm just wasting my ammunition. Is what it is. Right down there is about the elevation I'm at my target range right here. I'm wondering if I'm hitting some brush or some of those weeds on the way in with the shot, because a couple of times it sounds like it's hitting something on the way in, and I was screwing up my shooting. I'm not sure. I don't know. I put up a new target on the board. I'm going to shoot the AR at that target. Trying to see how that shoots. Hopefully, be done shooting for a while. It's getting warm, and I've been wheeling the wheelchair back and forth, 100 yards back, 100 back, forth. So it's getting tired of doing that. I already got a blister on one of my thumb areas here. So I don't know. We'll see how she goes. All right, this is my Ruger AR-15. It's a 5.56. A Strike Eagle Vortex scope on it. I gotta try and shoot it down at 100 yards. Supposedly my brother had sighted this in at 100, but I had to tweak the scope because he's a right-handed shooter. I'm a left-handed, so I had to adjust the scope a little bit. So hopefully it won't take too many shots to get it down there, down range on sight. We'll see. See if I can at least shoot this thing right. We'll see how she goes. Using these ammo right here. Okay, you can see it's fairly up and down okay. It's got to just be moved to the right. I'm guessing 3 inches to the right. It's only a 6 power scope at the highest level, so it's a tactical scope, so it's not easy to see the target that far away. But I just did a 4-shot group because I had 4 bullets already to go, so I can just move that over. I'm gonna say three good inches, move it to the right, and take a couple more shots. Well, I don't know what the hell happened because all those shots were to the left, about 3 inches. So I adjusted it for 3 inches to the right. And all the shots are way the hell on the other side now. What the hell? I want that scope is a mill scope or something. I adjusted it way too far. I'll have to go halfway back and do it again. Alright, it appears I brought it right back just a little bit closer to the center, but not quite too far the other way again. So I'm going to move it back to the right. That's 2 inches. Mills, it should be like 6 clicks, I would think. Maybe 3 clicks. I'll go 4 clicks to the right. Call that good. It's getting too hot to shoot now. That was all the ammo I had of that round of AR. I got different brands stuff now, so I'm gonna call it quits for today. I'm gonna move that over 4 clicks though and to the right and call it good for today. Sammy's getting awful hot, so we're gonna head home. All right, there's my last 4 shots right there. I used a different brand of ammo and just threw 4 shots at it just to see if it was going back where it was, and it is pretty much in line where it needs to be. I can't even talk. Where it needs to be. So that AR is pretty close to being sighted in. I'll do some more once I get it to camp and a good target table and stuff. I still got a sight in my other AR. I changed scopes on that, took the night vision off, and I put a regular scope on it for coyote hunting. So that'll be another process. It's just getting too warm, too frustrating with this stupid flabby table and stuff. So that's it for today. Sammy is ready to go find some water, huh, Sammy? Yeah, stop eating all the grass, knucklehead. Hey folks, how are ya? Sam and I are back out the same place I shot at last time. I brought my lead sled here with me, and hoping that'll get me higher up on that table, and it can be a much more solid rest. I figured I was leaning on that table, and it's a thin table, so as low as it was, I had to lean onto the table. It's kind of, I have to film it to show you. So I was putting a lot of body weight on the table, and that table being as flimsy it is, plus the rifle and everything, it was just constantly moving, and I couldn't get it to stop. So I was trying to just time when my shooting was, when it was right at the the bullseye, and trying to work it that way, and it just wasn't working for me. So I'm bringing the lead sled. I got the lead sled here. We're getting ready to do some shooting. Just set up the target board, and now we're going to drive at a 100-yard spot and then turn around and do some shooting. And I got some copper bullets this time, 130 grain coppers. My brother was down in Cabela's is down past Portland. I can't remember. It's like Scarborough. My brother was down in Scarborough and picked up a box of 130 grains for me. I try the coppers to see how those work. And I did bring my 140s as well to maybe try and shoot those with that lead sled, and hopefully that seating position will get me off the table and shoot a little bit better. I wasn't satisfied at all with how I was shooting before, so it was just wasting ammo, so I stopped. I'll go do that. I'll talk to you when I get back down there. Well, according to the weather, it's supposed to cloud up at like 9 in the morning, and it's puffy clouds in the sky now, as you can see, but it's not overcast like it was showing it was supposed to be. So it's hotter than I thought it was going to be too. So I got a little bit of a breeze, but that ain't much for 100 yards. I'm using these copper impact bullets, 130 grains, and I think there was a muzzle velocity supposed to be 3,000 feet per second for the 270. So that's pretty good. 100 yards, still going 2773 with 2,220 foot-pounds of energy. 200 yards, 2,500, 1,800 foot-pounds of energy. 300 yards, 2,352 feet per second, 1,597 foot-pounds. All the way to 500 yards, it still has 1,120 foot-pounds of energy, so that's pretty good. This is the copper, Winchester copper impacts. I'm gonna try those out, 130 grain. So see how those go, and I may shoot the, if these don't shoot well, I may shoot the 140s that I have, the ones that I shot already once, and see if I can get those with this lead sled. Let me show you what the lead sled looks like. All right, here's the lead sled. It's another nice rifle. I also got to mention, neglected to say, that when I went home, I decided to clean the rifle, and I found that the muzzle brake was loose. It had backed out to the point where you could easily just spin it. So I took it all the way off, cleaned up the threads really well, because it's a brand new gun, it's never been shot, so I assumed the muzzle brake was going nice and tight on there, but it wasn't. So then I put a little bit of thread lock on there and tightened it back up. So hopefully that stays better, and maybe that'll be the whole solution to this problem that I had on top of this flimsy little stupid table. I see when I was leaning into it, and you can just push it down and it bends a little bit, so when I have to lean way over because the wheelchair is so high, I'm just too high with just the wheelchair, but with this is bringing me up higher, so I shouldn't have to put so much weight on the table, and I'm hoping that'll help. And we'll see how she goes. She got the 100-yard range target down there already. As far as I can zoom right there on it, this phone. That's 100 yards. Got a little bit of a breeze, but not too bad. And I gotta fix that scope too. I forgot that this one also had the parallax adjustment on the side. I know it has the the lighting has 1 through 10 for light, bright and dim on the illuminated reticle, but I forgot that it had a parallax adjustment on that too. I got too many scopes on too many guns that aren't the same, so getting all mixed up. But we'll give it a shot, see how she goes. There's my 3 shots. I did 3 shots. First one went low, second one went high, and the third one went low. And I was trying to hold nice and tight. So I don't know. I don't know if I should take 3 more shots and waste more ammunition, or just something, I don't know. Might take 2 more shots and see where they go, and then try and even out, to try and see if I need to adjust it up a little bit more and to the right. Obviously it's shooting to the left just a little bit, and the average of 3, it's shooting a little bit low. So I'm going to take 2 more shots and hopefully that'll help me decide on how to adjust that, besides going to the right 1/2 inch. See what we get. Okay, there's my other two shots. Not the greatest thing because they both went in the same exact areas as the last three went. So at least I know I gotta go half an inch to the right. I don't know, maybe bring it up half an inch to the right and up half an inch. I don't know. I'm gonna try the other bullets again. Try for that center target before I do any more adjusting. They're 140 grains, Hornadies. I'm gonna try those before I mess with the scope much. See how that works. All right, I'm gonna try the 140 grain 270 Winchester American Whitetail Hornadies and see if those shoot any better at the center black mass target I have over there. The lead sled is holding it a lot better. I'm not bouncing up and down so much, so I'm getting a good decent trigger squeeze, and I'm still getting an 1.5 inch group with those coppers. So I just ran a bore snake through the bore just to hope get anything out of there. Because they do say, if you watch Ron Spomer, sometimes he thinks that after you shoot coppers you should clean your barrel or vice versa before you run the other, because he thinks that sometimes that if it interferes with the accuracy of the rifle. So I'm going to try the American Whitetails and 140 grain and see how those shoot. I just want to say that when I was younger, I used to buy rifles and I'd buy a box of ammo, and if it didn't shoot that box of ammo great, then I thought the gun was just not a good gun. Shows you how much we learn as we get older here. Every gun has its own unique signature series, so to speak, of what ammo it likes. It can be even the different weights. It can be like Remington or Winchester, but it maybe likes 130s better than 140s or 150s better than 130s. You don't know. You got to try to shoot as much as you can with the rifle. You know, give it a good fair shake before you just send it down the road, because a lot of times some guns are just finicky with ammunition. You just got to find that right one, and then once you find it, buy a bunch of, a few boxes of it so you have some. And that's what I did with my 7mm PRC. I wasn't shooting Hornady very well, and I wasn't shooting a few others very well, but I really liked the Federal 175s. It was shooting those really well. So, and then the same thing with my 30-30 lever action. It likes 170 grain fusions for some reason. So you find what it likes and you take it. Sometimes they're expensive bullets, sometimes they're cheap bullets. Just got to find what it likes. I'm gonna try these 140s now. I got 3 in there. I'm gonna send down range and see what happens. I haven't adjusted the scope at all because I didn't want to, because I thought it was shooting more in line with the lead bullets than it was a copper. So maybe not. I'm gonna see what happens when I shoot these 3. As you can see, that center target, 2 holes touching each other, one a little bit low. So it definitely likes the 140s better than the 130s in the lead instead of the copper. I am still shooting to the left, so I'm gonna have to move it over by half an inch to the right. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna move over half an inch to the right, then take a couple more shots and see where those shots go before I move it any more up and down. I might be shooting just a hair high, so I could bring it down half an inch, but I want to, maybe I'll do that. Move over half an inch to the right and half an inch down. Right and down. All right. Sammy's following Daddy everywhere, being a great girl as usual. All right, I adjusted my scope half an inch to the right and half an inch down. This is an MOA, so I did the 2 clicks, so it might be just a little hair more than what I want, but we'll see how it goes. You're either a little bit less or a little bit more, because you can't go quarters, you go 1/3 of an inch when you do MOA. So see what it looks like when I take them down. I'm going to send 2 down there on the same target, same spot, and see where those ones go. Okay, there's my second 2 shots. One's bullseye, one's just a hair underneath the bullseye. That's pretty good. I think I'm going to leave it just like that for now. Maybe grab some more of those 140s or find another brand of 140s to see how it shoots, but that's shooting pretty good. I'm running low on them, so I don't want to use too many more. But I'm happy with that for now. I may buy another box of 140s and a different brand just to try them. But it doesn't really care. At least the 130s coppers wasn't doing super good. I mean, they're close, but as you can see on the right target, but I don't know. I'm happy with those 140s. They're doing pretty good, keeping them close and tight. All I did was bring that over 1/2 inch and then down 1/2 inch. And as you can see, the 1/2 inch, because it's 1/3, it's a little bit more. It's 2/3 of an inch, it's not 1/2 inch. So that's pretty good for now. I'll do some more shooting later when it cools down some more, and buy another box of 140s. And seems to like the 140 grains, at least so far. Maybe grab another box of 130s that aren't copper and see how that shoots. We'll see. Sammy needs to get to some water. She's been a trooper out here as usual. Hang out with Dad. All right, let's turn around here and head back. Whew, it's getting warm. Especially wheeling back and forth, 100 yards that way, 100 yards this way, the wheelchair, and that's dirt and rocks and brush and whatever coyote and bear crap is through there. But I'm gonna take 3 more shots. I got a clean target that's down there. It just has this black sticker on it, so I feel I can get a better accurate when I have the more accurate shooting, when I have the crosshairs that I aim on to the crosshairs with instead of just a black circle. Because there's a red dot on the black circle, but the dot on here completely covers that, so I could be off a little bit. So I'm hard to feel like you're not as exact of shooting when you're doing that. But I want to try 3, see if they'll group well. I hope so. I hope I don't mess up my. I got a decent group down there now, so I hope I don't mess it all up. Taking 3 more shots. It's kind of hot out and the sun's been beating on it and the barrel's probably warm, but it cools down for me wheeling down and back. But 3 more shots. We'll see what I do. Hopefully I don't destroy my good luck here. Well, folks, that's probably my best shooting yet. There's 3 shots right there. 3 shots. It's a little bit to that left side, but... And that was my last 2 right there. I just decided to do a 3-shot group before we leave, and I ain't complaining about that. Could move it over to the right of here, but those ones were right center, so who knows. I ain't complaining. I'm gonna call that good for now. Gotta go find some water for Sammy. She is thirsty. Hey folks, how you doing? Just got done my second day shooting that brand new Browning XBOLT 2, and I'm pretty happy with the results. The first day was horrible because I was leaning over on the table, in the center of the table, and the table was going downhill, and it was just a bad position, and I could not get a steady shot for the life of me. My setup was, I was just trying to time the trigger to go off as I was bouncing up and down between this bullseye and off of it, and ended up stopping because it was just wasting ammunition. I had to get a more solid rest. I needed a more solid table. But my brother suggested me using my my lead sled too, so I decided to try that today, and I got some excellent results. My last 5 shots, I had adjusted the scope and I shot 2 shots. One was dead bullseye, one was just underneath. And I had a blank target to the left of it that I hadn't done anything with yet. So I was just going to pack up, and I said, you know what? I need to just take 3 shots and see what that looks like. And ended up being the best 3-shot group I've ever shot out of any gun I've ever owned. So can't complain about that. Hey folks, before I close out this video, I just want to give you a little information on a book that I just recently finished reading that I'm really happy about purchasing. And if anybody does make food plots, it's a great read, and it has a lot of information that's very helpful. Let me show you. It's a definitive guide to food plotting. The author's name is Peter J. Fiduka. I've seen him with a few videos on TV about calling in deer and stuff, and he does a good job with that too. And this book was very detailed. I've seen a lot of other food plot books, and they're just have black and white pictures or hand-drawn pictures, and it's really hard to identify plants that way and see what they're supposed to look like. This is all in nice color photos, a lot of details in the things that it's talking about. It goes over different clovers, not just one clover. And it goes over winter rye, wheat, brassicas. It goes over all kinds of different things. And it also has chapters on like fruit trees and how to plant fruit trees and stuff like that, and nut trees. And then it also will have information at the end of each one of those chapters on the plants and stuff, what kind of soils is best for it, pH level wise, as well as what kind of fertilizers you should be using for them. So it'll sort of like a condensed version of that little chapter at the end of each one. So it's really helpful. If anybody, just like me and anybody else, if you nowadays you'd like to order a lot of things, especially books, it's hard to find what you want, so you order them online. You feel like you're taking a chance because you just don't know what's going to be in the book, and you don't know if you're wasting your money or not. This is probably the best food plot book I've ever seen so far. I would highly suggest it, and you guys give it a try, and hopefully it'll help you out as much as it's helped me out so far. And I wish you luck with it.